Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the sun in the second house in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on sun placements in houses. Now, they were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up, well, first off, the sun in astrology is connected with our focus and attention. So there may be a strong focus and attention on monetary matters, on resources, possessions, one's self-worth, self-esteem, and how one feels about oneself, the values, buying and selling. The thing is too is that these sun in the second house needs to be careful, not to be overly possessive of material items and others, because sometimes that's how this placement can manifest. This could be like the sun in Taurus. It's similar, but of course you got to blend in the sun sign as well. I have the sun in Cancer in the second house in my natal chart, and it shows my basic character. Being the sun could be protective, introverted, tenacious, and dedicated, but at the same time, it gives the sun being in the second house gives it more flavoring, and it could show a lot of dedication and protectiveness in matters that are monetary, and gives even more determination, I would say, in my general sun and Cancer qualities. As far as my sun in Cancer goes, because sun in Cancer can be tenacious, but the second house is the house of Taurus and gives even more, adds more fixity and stability to that, I'd say. Now, also too, the sun in astrology is associated with our drive and motivation. So naturally, the person that has this placement may have a lot of drive and motivation in terms of generating money and in monetary matters in general, banking, their finances, the acquisition of possessions, resources as well. And it's also a lot of incentive in terms of developing latent talents and abilities. And if this is in Gemini, it could be, and if Gemini is on the second house cusp, I mean, those latent talents and abilities can be connected with writing, communications, manual dexterity, as some examples, such as working on doing auto or refrigeration mechanics, as some examples. And the thing about this too, um, the sun astrology has a connection with our vitality and energy. And a lot of that energy and vitality may be injected into what your values in general, the things that you value in life. It could be financial, monetary matters, again, the accumulation of possessions matters with buying and selling. And this is where your basic character can strongly be expressed. I mean, the second house, is about generating income. It could be where that basic side of the basic character, the true self, fundamental character, is expressed strongly at that place in which you generate money. And it could be too. I mean, think about the fact that the sun is sun is connected with our vitality and energy. It's also where then being in the second house, it would be expending that energy into providing just general peace and stability for yourself as well, I would say. So anyway, well, the sun has a connection with the physical body. So the thing is, when you have the sun in the second house in your natal chart, the physical body may then be something that you strongly value. It's something your physical, your physique, to some degree, may give you more self-worth, self-esteem, make you feel better about yourself in general. And it's also about the physical body in some cases may be used to make money, such as it could be something with modeling or acting, as some examples. And also too, to keep in mind, the second house has a connection anatomically with the throat and the neck. So in some cases, there may be physical related issues, with those, body parts, which is like, the sun being in Taurus. Now the thing is, I have the sun in Cancer, the second house. I also have a Taurus ascendant, so that even can give, I would say, maybe greater propensity or proclivity for issues with those, those body parts. So it's also, the second house is also about the acquisition of material items. So, you generally are going to be physically up to do that as well and to generate income. So the thing too is, and you have, sun in astrology is connected with action. So there may be a lot of action in terms of, just trying to attain, peace, stability, creature comforts in your life, the accumulation and acquisition of material items, being, positive. I'm not positive. I'm sorry. Possessions, accumulate possessions, but also matters with banking, buying and selling. The sun in Cancer, using that as an example, buying and selling maybe things, you might be doing that out of your home. It could be something associated with real estate or food or, culinary items as some examples. Gemini could be communication devices or reading material and, something where you accumulate knowledge. Um, could also be, the fact that, you know, um, the sun is also connected with the ego. So the ego and your monetary situation may be strongly integrated and tied in with each other. I mean, if your monetary situation is not good, maybe that's more of a blow to your ego than it ordinarily would be, and vice versa. And also, too, thing to keep in mind, with the sun in the second house, I would say the person, naturally there's that, strong focus and attention on monetary matters, and the person may be either, exceptionally extravagant or, let's say, parsimonious, but maybe very frugal. And I think a lot of it would depend on the sun position. If the sun is in a more extravagant sign like Leo, the person may be, more about, spending, exorbitant amount of money on things. But if it's in, a sign like Virgo, it's more frugal. Well, the person may be very, might be more, there may be more restraint and, reluctance to spend money. It could be that person that gets a lot of, it's a generic items. Now, another thing about the sun in astrology, it's also associated with the biological father and children. So these people may figure more prominently in your monetary situation, matters with finances, buying, selling, material items more so than most people, and also how you feel about yourself, your self-worth. And the funny thing, like with me, my father passed away when I was 3 years old, and I have this placement in my natal chart, and I just wonder, because of this, could have this had something to do, had some maybe negative effect on how I felt about myself. Yeah, not having father, maybe I just wasn't cognizant or aware of it. But it seems like, maybe that could have had some effect with me, as an example. Another thing about, the sun in astrology, it's about confidence and self-assuredness. So the sun in the second house may have a lot of confidence and self-assuredness in matters, in terms of attaining financial stability, the development of latent talents and abilities. It could be, activities that are associated with siblings, cousins, neighbors, things with manual dexterity, such as, working on, automobiles or refrigeration mechanics, as some examples. And the sun in astrology is also about, shining, where we may shine. And so naturally, the sun positive in the second house may readily shine in matters in terms of generating income, and matters with buying and selling, banking, It could be, accumulating possessions, buying things at a certain price and being able to sell them at a very good price, making a good profit on what was, purchased. It could be, many years ago, and being able to sell it and make money by doing this. And it's also about, matters connected with your, security as well, and is where the person, may shine, and I would say in the development of those latent talents and abilities as well. If the sun is in Virgo, say, it could be things connected with extrapolating data, or doing something with statistics, computer programming, something connected with, diagnostic work, health, or nutrition, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.